Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Rupinder Kaur Chawla with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone of 2 hydropower projects in Chamba. New India is overcoming the challenges of the past and growing rapidly, says the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi flags off Vande Bharat Express from Una in Himachal Pradesh to New Delhi. President Draupadi Murmu flags off Kolkata-Agartala Express train on her first visit to Tripura. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman asserts growth to be among the priorities in forthcoming union budget in Washington. 2-day conference of power and renewable energy ministers of states and union territories to begin in Udaipur, Rajasthan tomorrow. 12th edition of Defence Expo to begin from October the 18th in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And in Asia Cup Women's Cricket, India beats Ireland to enter the finals at Sylhet, Bangladesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has laid the foundation stone of 2 hydropower projects in Chamba, Himachal Pradesh. These projects will generate over 270 million units of electricity annually, and Himachal Pradesh is expected to get an annual revenue of around 110 crore rupees. Earlier this morning, the Prime Minister launched various developmental projects in Una. He flagged off the Vande Bharat Express from Una to New Delhi. This is the 4th Vande Bharat train to be introduced in the country. The introduction of the train will help boost tourism in the region and provide a comfortable and faster mode of travel.
आज मैं यहाँ आया हूँ तो कनेक्टिविटी से जुड़ा भी आयोजन है, शिक्षा संस्थान का काम और औद्योगिकरण के लिए भी बहुत बड़ी सेवा भाव से सौगात लेकर आया हूँ। आज यहाँ ऊना में देश के दूसरे बल्क ड्रग पार्क पर काम शुरू हुआ है। हिंदुस्तान में 3 बल्क ड्रग पार्क बनते हो और उसमें एक हिमाचल के नसीब आ जाए, इससे बड़ी कोई भेंट सौगात हो सकती है दोस्तों? इससे बड़ा कोई निर्णय हो सकता है? ये हिमाचल के प्रति जो प्यार है, जो समर्पण है, उसी का परिणाम है भाई।
The Prime Minister said the government is not only meeting the needs of the people but also started working with full force. Mr. Modi said the focus of the government is to boost regional connectivity and to ensure the availability of digital facilities up to their maximum potential. The Prime Minister says New India is overcoming the challenges of the past and growing rapidly. He added that the government of double engine is providing modern facilities to the 21st century to the people. Mr. Modi also inaugurated the Indian Institute of Information Technology, Una, and laid the foundation stone of a bulk drug park in Una. The Prime Minister said during the corona pandemic, the country has shown the power of Indian-made medicines to the whole world, and Himachal has also contributed significantly to this feat. He said with the formation of bulk drug pharma, cheap and good treatment will be available for the patients. He said new avenues of employment would open up in Himachal with the creation of this park. He added that his top priority is to hone the skills and abilities of the youth. Speaking on the occasion, Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said Himachal has got the country's 4th Vande Bharat Express in 5 years, which shows the Prime Minister's commitment towards the development of the hill state.
वंदे भारत एक ट्रेन नहीं बल्कि एक विश्वास का नाम है। विश्वास घटती दूरियों का, विश्वास जुड़ते रिश्तों का, विश्वास बढ़ती संभावनाओं का, विश्वास भारतीय रेल के नाम का, पहचान का, विश्वास नए भारत का, बदलते भारत का, विश्वास मोदी जी की वचनबद्धता का, जो हमने सोचा भी नहीं उससे ज्यादा बढ़कर दिया और हिमाचल का सपना साकार किया है। आपका बहुत बहुत आभार है माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी।
Mr. Modi will launch Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana 3 in Himachal Pradesh for upgradation of around 3,125 kilometers of roads in the state. Indian Railways is set to operate freight versions of Vande Bharat trains. According to the Railways Ministry, the freight trains will be operationalized to capture additional high-value sensitive cargo which is presently being transported through other modes of transport. The ministry said the first service is being introduced between Delhi NCR and Mumbai region. These services are being planned through new freight electric multiple unit EMU rolling stock built on Vande Bharat platform. Other potential routes for running the freight EMUs will be identified in consultation with potential customers and other stakeholders. More from our correspondent.
Indian Railways is constantly striving to build a robust railway infrastructure in the country. The aim of these efforts are to provide world-class amenities to the passengers and reduce the travel time. To achieve these goals, indigenous high-speed trains Vande Bharat are being run in many parts of the country. Vande Bharat trains have created a new identity of speed, efficiency and convenience. Under the Make in India initiative, a target has been set to manufacture 400 Vande Bharat trains in the coming years. The first Vande Bharat Express train was flagged off in February 2019 between New Delhi to Varanasi. The Vande Bharat train is also operating between New Delhi to Katra route. Recently, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi flagged off an upgraded version of Vande Bharat Express train between Gandhinagar to Mumbai. The speciality of this new Vande Bharat Express train is that it can achieve the speed of 0 to 100 km per hour in just 52 seconds. The train has the capability to run at a speed of 180 km per hour. Bhupendra Singh, Air News, Delhi.
The Supreme Court has delivered a split verdict in the Karnataka hijab ban case. In view of this, the order of the Karnataka High Court allowing the ban on wearing a headscarf in educational institutions in the state will prevail in the interim. A bench comprising Justices Hemant Gupta and Sudhanshu Dhulia pronounced the verdict on a batch of appeals filed against the judgment of the Karnataka High Court, which held that hijab was not an essential practice of Islam. Delivering the verdict today, Justice Hemant Gupta dismissed the petitions and upheld the hijab ban verdict of the Karnataka High Court. On the other hand, Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia allowed the appeals and set aside the Karnataka High Court order. Justice Dhulia termed wearing hijab a matter of choice. The two-judge bench said that, in light of the divergence of opinion, the matter has to be placed before the Chief Justice of India for directions. President Draupadi Murmu has flagged off the Agartala Khongsang Jan Shatabdi Express and the Agartala Kolkata Express from Agartala railway station. Later in the day, the President will virtually inaugurate and lay the foundation stones for various projects of the Union and state government. These include a supercomputer facility, Param Kamrup, and the facility for the design and development of high-power microwave components at IIT Guwahati, Medical College and Hospital at Dhubri, and Zonal Institutes of National Institute of Virology at Dibrugarh in Assam and Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh. In the evening, the President will attend a civic reception and cultural program to be hosted in her honor at the Assam Administrative Staff College, Guwahati. The President is on a 3-day visit to Tripura and Assam.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that growth will be among the top priorities of the Union budget for 2023-24. She said the forthcoming Union budget will be carefully structured where the focus will be on maintaining growth momentum. Ms. Sitharaman was speaking at an event organized by a think tank in Washington. She said the forthcoming budget will also focus on addressing concerns arising out of inflation. On the issue of rising public debt and fiscal deficit, Ms. Sitharaman said in the last two budgets, the central government focused on increased capital expenditure to revive the economy post-pandemic. The Finance Minister has held meetings with her counterparts of different countries and heads of top international organizations in Washington, D.C. She is on a visit to the U.S. to attend the annual meetings of the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the G20 finance ministers and central bank governors.
The Defence Ministry is organizing Def Expo 2022 in Gandhinagar, Gujarat from October 18 to 22nd. The 12th edition of the prestigious biennial defence exhibition will focus on land, air, naval and homeland security systems. During the event, seminars will be held at Mahatma Mandir Convention and Exhibition Centre, Gandhinagar, in a hybrid format, enabling the speakers as well as the audience to participate virtually. Our correspondent reports that the seminars will broadly cover exports, financing and investments in defence startups and MSMEs, and futuristic autonomous technologies for air dominance. Leading international and national experts from defence and aerospace sector will be the speakers for various seminars. The details of the seminars are available on Def Expo 22 website. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will commence a 2-day visit to Egypt this Saturday. This will be his first visit to the country. During the visit, Dr. Jaishankar will discuss a range of bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest with his Egyptian counterpart, Mr. Sameh Shokri. He will interact with the Indian community based in Egypt. India and Egypt traditionally enjoy warm and friendly relations underpinned by historical and cultural linkages. Both countries are celebrating 75 years of establishment of diplomatic relations this year. Egypt has been invited as a guest country during India's presidency of G20 in 2022-23. Egypt has been one of India's largest trading partners in Africa. Our correspondent reports the visit will provide an opportunity to deepen cooperation and explore new initiatives in the bilateral partnership.
The United States and India will work together to support their shared vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific. This was stated by the Biden administration's national security strategy, a declassified version of which was released last night. It said, as India is the world's largest democracy and a major defense partner, the US and India will work together bilaterally and multilaterally to support our shared vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific. The strategy has identified China as one of the major threats to American national security. The strategy has reaffirmed US's ironclad commitments to its Indo-Pacific Treaty allies, Australia, Japan, South Korea, the Philippines and Thailand. It said the US will continue to modernize these alliances. The Union Power Ministry will hold a conference of Ministers of Power and New and Renewable Energy of states and union territories in Udaipur, Rajasthan from tomorrow. The 2-day conference will discuss the emerging issues in the power sector. The conference is expected to witness deliberations on strengthening the sector with focus on energy conservation, renewable energy and reforms. Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot, Minister of State for Power and Heavy Industries, Krishan Pal Gurjar, Minister of State for New and Renewable Energy and Chemicals and Fertilizers, Bhagwant Khoba, and senior officials from the Ministries of Power and New and Renewable Energy will attend the conference. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said PM Gati Shakti digital platform has the potential to save about 10 lakh crore rupees annually in the logistics sector. The minister said this today in New Delhi while talking to the media on the sidelines of the national workshop on PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan for Multimodal Connectivity. Mr. Goyal said with the help of PM Gati Shakti platform, the government is trying to reduce the expenditure cost in logistics sectors from 13 to 14% of the GDP to a single digit. He said on PM Gati Shakti platform, many aspects of hundreds of projects are being completed within 2 to 3 days, which earlier took many years. He added that after acknowledging the success rate of this platform, several important infrastructure sectors are now associating with PM Gati Shakti platform. The minister said this platform is going to redefine the growth story and will modernize the future of India. He said it will add great impetus to the economy and make the country more prosperous.
The International Monetary Fund IMF has termed India's direct benefit transfer scheme as a logistical marvel considering the sheer size of the country. IMF's Deputy Director of Fiscal Affairs Department, Paolo Mauro, said there is a lot to learn from countries across the globe and described India's DBT scheme as impressive. The IMF Deputy Director said there are programs that specifically target women or the elderly and farmers and praised the technological innovation involved in these programs. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone of 2 hydropower projects in Chamba. New India is overcoming the challenges of the past and growing rapidly, says the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi flags off Vande Bharat Express from Una in Himachal Pradesh to New Delhi. President Draupadi Murmu flags off Kolkata-Agartala Express train on her first visit to Tripura. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman asserts growth to be among the priorities in forthcoming Union budget in Washington. Two-day conference of power and renewable energy ministers of states and union territories to begin in Udaipur, Rajasthan tomorrow. 12th edition of Defence Expo to begin from October 18th in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And in Asia Cup Women's Cricket, India beat Thailand to enter the finals at Sylhet, Bangladesh. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Northeast Diary program, broadcast every Thursday and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. brings very interesting and enchanting stories from the 8 Indian states of Northeast India. In this week's Northeast Diary, that is the 13th of October, we bring an exclusive interview with Dr. Omji Upadhyay, Director, Indian Council of Historical Research, Delhi. Looking forward to see you there.
I am India. Look at me. Know my name.
We're one of the most mega diverse countries on this planet.
Our weddings, our fashion statements, they're all inspired by our silver screen heroes and heroines.
A 75 years young India.
What we are really going to see India become is a powerhouse.
India 2.0.
The Journey of India from 14th October every Friday at 7 p.m. in Hindi and 10 p.m. in English on DD National.
Welcome back to the Midday News. In Jammu and Kashmir, security forces detected 3 powerful improvised explosive devices, IEDs, in a bag and averted a major mishap earlier today. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that the bag was found lying near Basri Nala of Sangaldan area in Gul subdivision, Jammu, which was recovered by a joint search party of the army and police. A massive search was launched in the area following the recovery of the IEDs and inputs on the suspicious movement of some people there. No arrests were made. The bag is believed to have been abandoned by suspected terrorists planning to carry out attacks in the district. A cache of arms and ammunition was also recovered from the bag. The police have registered a case and started investigation into the matter. More than 219 crore 15 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Over 5,69,000 doses were administered in the last 24 hours. During the same period, 2,786 new COVID cases were reported in the country. The country's active caseload currently stands at over 26,500. The recovery rate is currently at 98.76%. A total of 2,557 people recovered in the last 24 hours. More than 89 crore 78 lakh COVID tests have been conducted in the country so far. Over 2,57,000 tests were conducted in the last 24 hours.
The United Nations General Assembly has adopted a resolution condemning Russia's actions in Ukraine. The draft resolution, titled Territorial Integrity of Ukraine, Defending the Principles of the Charter of the United Nations, was adopted yesterday. India abstained from the resolution. A total of 143 members voted in favor of the resolution, while 5 voted against it. As many as 35 abstained. World Wildlife Fund WWF has said that the world's wildlife populations have declined by more than 2/3 since 1970 as forests have been cleared and oceans polluted. According to the WWF and Zoological Society of London's ZSL Biennial Living Planet Report 2022, Earth's wildlife populations have plunged by an average of 69% in the last 50 years. It said that Latin America and the Caribbean region, including the Amazon, has seen the steepest decline in average wildlife population size, with a 94% drop, followed by Africa and the Asia-Pacific region. The report said deforestation, human exploitation, pollution and climate change were the biggest drivers of the population loss. Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for crores of people across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio. In today's episode, we bring you the story of India's achievements in space programs.
India's space programs have grown and evolved significantly in the last decades. Some of the key turning points in the country's space journey include the launch of Aryabhat satellite, PSLV, GSLV, Mission Shakti and Mars Orbiter mission. Overall, India has been fairly successful in these efforts. The space research activities were initiated in India during the early 1960s, when applications using satellites were in experimental stages, even in the United States. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, the founding father of Indian space program, formed the Indian National Committee for Space Research, INCOSPAR, in 1962, with Dr. Sarabhai leading the charge. INCOSPAR set up the Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station in Thiruvananthapuram for upper atmospheric research.
It is not accidental that on the soil of India, the great space powers, the United States, the USSR and France, are collaborating with us at the equatorial range near Thumba. And even the United Nations sponsorship of this range is not merely a matter of form, but constitutes an umbrella under which, regardless of political differences, nations can collaborate in the peaceful uses of outer space.
INCOSPAR then grew and became the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, on August the 15th, 1969. The prime objective of ISRO is to develop space technology and its application to various national needs. ISRO is one of the 6 largest space agencies in the world. Named after the noted Indian astronomer, Aryabhat was India's first satellite, which was launched on April the 19th, 1975 from Kapustin Yar, a Soviet rocket launch and development site in Astrakhan Oblast, using a Cosmos 3M launch vehicle. Aryabhat was built by ISRO. Bhaskar Siga-1, India's second satellite, was also launched with Soviet assistance. Rohini was launched in 1980, becoming the first Indian satellite to be successfully placed in orbit by Satellite Launch Vehicle SLV-3, a country-made launch vehicle. In 1984, Air Force pilot Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian to go into space, riding in a Soviet spacecraft. He spoke to then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi from space during a joint television news conference.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको?
जी मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूँ कि सारे जहां से अच्छा.
Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV has successfully launched 2 spacecraft, Chandrayaan-1 in 2008 and Mars Orbiter spacecraft in 2013. Chandrayaan-1 was India's first moon mission. It was the first unmanned lunar probe under the Chandrayaan program and was launched in October 2008 by ISRO. Mars Orbiter mission was the country's first interplanetary mission. India became the 4th space agency in the world to reach Mars orbit after Roscosmos, NASA and the European Space Agency. It also made India the first nation in the world to reach the Martian orbit in its maiden attempt. The spacecraft Mangalyaan was launched on November the 5th, 2013 and reached Mars orbit on the 24th of September 2014. At just $74 million, the mission cost less than the estimated $100 million budget of the science fiction blockbuster Hollywood movie Gravity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said everything about Mangalyaan is indigenous and we reached Mars at a smaller budget than a Hollywood movie.
कि अमेरिका की हॉलीवुड जो फिल्म बनती है मूवी, उससे भी कम खर्चे में हमारे वैज्ञानिकों ने काम किया है. यानी इससे ज्यादा खर्चा तो हॉलीवुड की मूवी बनाने में होता है.
India is striving towards self-reliant space applications and ISRO has developed a cost-effective and reliable satellite launch system. Another brilliant innovation by ISRO is the GSLV, which has the capability to put a heavier payload in orbit than the PSLV. In a first-of-its-kind attempt, the Defence Research and Development Organization managed to successfully neutralize a satellite in space with its anti-satellite ASAT missile on March the 27th, 2019. This was one of the most important and complex missions that was undertaken by the DRDO, and it was named Mission Shakti. It demonstrated the organization's ability to defend India's assets even in space.
आजाद भारत की बात आकाशवाणी के साथ can be accessed on @AIR News Alerts on Twitter, News on AIR official YouTube channel, News on AIR app, Facebook and Instagram handles. So tune in to All India Radio News for Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashwani ke saath.
The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring you an exclusive interview with Election Commissioner of India, Anup Chandra Pandey, in our special segment Countrywide at 9:30 p.m. tonight. In the discussion with the IR, Mr. Pandey talks about the aims and objectives of Matdata Junction, the recent collaboration of ECI with AIR. The complete interview can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This will also be available on our website newsonair.nic.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has flagged off the third segment of the Gujarat Gaurav Yatra from Sant Savayanath Temple in Ahmedabad. The yatra will be concluded at Somnath in the Saurashtra region. Addressing the people, Mr. Shah said the state is on the path of development and attracting huge investments under the BJP-led government. Union Minister Mansukh Mandavia, Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, State BJP President C.R. Patil and other senior BJP leaders were present on the occasion. Later in the day, Mr. Shah will also launch the other two segments of the yatra from Unai Mata Temple at Vansda Taluk of Navsari district.
The Department of Biotechnology DBT is implementing a focused bilateral collaborative program known as the Indo-Us Vaccine Action Program VAP jointly with the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases NIAID, National Institutes of Health NIH USA since July 1987. The current 5-year VAP joint statement has been extended till 2027. Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, the Secretary, DBT, along with the Indian delegation comprising senior officials from DBT, is visiting the USA for the 34th meeting of the Joint Working Group, JWG of VAP, and other scientific consultations. The JWG provides oversight to VAP and comprises of experts and the policymakers from India and US. The meeting is being held today at the NIH campus in Bethesda, Maryland in US. During the meeting, the joint statement of Indo-US VAP has been signed by Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale and Dr. Anthony Fauci, Director NIAID, considering the 5-year extension accorded to the program till 2027. The Sensex and the Nifty today declined more than 0.5% in the afternoon trade. Both indices fell amid negative cues from global share markets. The Sensex was trading below 57,200 level, while the Nifty was trading below the 17,000 mark.
In Asia Cup Women's Cricket, India advanced to the finals with a comfortable win over Thailand in the first semi-final match played at Sylhet in Bangladesh. This is the 8th time when India secured a place in the Asia Cup final. Tracing a target of 149 runs set by India, Thailand could manage only 74 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. In the second semi-final of the tournament underway at the same venue, Sri Lanka set a target of 123 runs for Pakistan. Now let us have a quick look at the weather forecast for the day. National capital Delhi will have clear sky. Minimum temperature was 19 degrees. Maximum will be around 31 degrees. Mumbai will have a partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone of 2 hydropower projects in Chamba. New India is overcoming the challenges of the past and growing rapidly, says the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi flags off Vande Bharat Express from Una in Himachal Pradesh to New Delhi. President Draupadi Murmu flags off Kolkata Agartala Express train on her first visit to Tripura. In Washington, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman asserts growth to be among the priorities in forthcoming union budget. Two-day conference of power and renewable energy ministers of states and union territories to begin in Udaipur, Rajasthan tomorrow. 12th edition of Defence Expo to begin from October the 18th in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And in Asia Cup, Women's Cricket, India beats Ireland in Sylhet, Bangladesh to enter the finals. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.